Welcome back to 90s Bball Cards, the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the entire internet. I am Jake Roy, 90s Bball Cards on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, a little bit of TikTok and Facebook as well. And today, I am not your host. A little bit of a switch up here today. So, luckily, I had reached out and was hoping that some people could help me out with some content ideas to make things quicker and a little bit simpler for me. And Kyle from the Wax Museum podcast reached out and said that he would love to help me out. And he's going to take a little bit more of a hands-on approach and actually do a little bit of the video for me. So Kyle's going to be the host for the day. So let's get right into what we're going to see with Kyle. All right, so today what we're going to be going through are Kyle's top 10 rare serial numbered cards from the 90s, really with a heavy emphasis on the Indiana Pacers. If you know the Wax Museum podcast and Kyle's content, you know that he's a big fan of the Indiana Pacers. So we're going to see some of his cards. Not every single card is going to be Pacers, but there's going to be a heavy reliance on the Pacers in this, and these are a lot of low serial numbered cards. It's not necessarily the lowest serial numbered cards in his collection, but a lot of low serial numbered ones that are his favorites. So without any further ado, let's get right into what Kyle's got for us.
What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum Podcast, and I'm here to share 10 of my favorite rare Pacers 90s cards. Now, there are some out there that I would probably like better than these, some of them, masterpieces, all that sort of thing. But these are all cards that I own. And I want to thank Jake. I'm excited to do this because most of what I do is audio only, so it's nice to be able to show off some cards as well. So let's jump right in. Number 10, and I promise you these won't all be Jeff Foster cards, but we got to start off with one of Jeff here. Number 10 is the 1999-2000 Topps MVP promotion. Okay. Now, 1999 was the first year that Topps made these, and as you can see here, these look just like the base card on the front, except there's a foil stamp that says Topps MVP promotion, and then the backs are way different. The backs have a form that you fill out for a little contest, and the idea behind this contest was that Topps named an MVP each week during the season. And if you got the player who won the Player of the Week, you could redeem that card for a redemption set. And then it notes up here that there were 100 copies for every player. So a lot of the good players have less than 100 cards on the market because they were actually named the MVP. And people sent those in. In hindsight, they probably shouldn't. On the other hand, a guy like Jeff Foster is pretty tough to find just because people knew he would never win the MVP. They didn't have any faith, right? And they were tossed aside or thrown away. Now, even though this isn't Pacers, I do want to show you this one real quick here. This is one that I am proud of. You've already seen the Jeff Foster. It wasn't expensive, but it took a long time to find. This Kobe I actually found in a dollar box at a card show a couple of years ago. It was in the middle of a kind of a bricked block of 1999 Topps base. And yes, I actually took the time to carefully peel all of them apart. And yes, for once, it actually paid off. The odds of that paying off are slim to none. In this case, it did. So obviously, I was, very happy about that. All right, the next card that I want to look at is the, we'll look at two here. We've got the Rave, and we've got the Super Rave. So we want to start off with the 1997-98 Z-Force Rave. And the regular Rave was numbered to 399, and these were hobby only. And you can get these in Series 1 and Series 2. As you can see, there's like a silver foil over the name here. And then on the back, they're numbered to 399. There was a parallel of that, which is the Super Rave, which you can see here. This is the Austin Crozier. You can see that the wording is a little bit different. This one's, the Super Raves are numbered out of 50. So this is 32 out of 50. And yes, unfortunately, there are some fakes out there, which is why, some people think it's silly to have a PSA 6. Well, the seller wanted assurance that it was real when he went to sell it. So that's what he did. He had it slabbed. Okay. The next one here that I have is 1999-2000 Flair Showcase Legacy 2000. I don't have a lot to say about this card, but it is an incredible card. The base cards of these look really, really nice. And there's only two parallels. There's the Legacy, which I have right here, which is numbered to 20. As you can see on the back, you see the numbering down here. And then there's the Masterpiece numbered to 1. I don't have any of those, but super, super tough card to come across. This one I think probably cost me about $40. That's probably what you're looking for commons. They might have gone up a little bit lately, but there's plenty of people willing to pay, but there's just not a lot of copies to go around. So that's the real obstacle there. Okay, next up, let me do a little shuffling of the cards here. All right, next up we have a 1998-1999 Fleer Tradition Classic 61. So in 1998, Fleer, they changed their flagship brand to something called Fleer Tradition. And, a lot of people might know that as the set that had the Playmakers Theater inserts numbered to 100, but, there was more than that. The product had a couple of inserts or parallels that had designs based on the 1961 Fleer set. Why is that important? Well, that was Fleer's first NBA set, so I actually have a few of those here. I have a Wilt Chamberlain. This is the secondary card. In 1961, they had a rookie card, and then the players that had rookies had the rookie card, which was more like a portrait like this. And then they had the in-game action, which you can see here. So you got a couple regular 61s there. I also want to show you, here's an example of the rookie. I've got an Elgin Baylor here. So you can see the design is very similar. Now, the Pacers didn't exist in 1961, but that's why we have great sets like Fleer Tradition. So they had like I said, they had the Classic 61 and they had the Vintage 61. The Vintage 61 did not have a serial number. The pictures were the same, but there were a few minor differences on the actual look of the card. But the Classic is serial numbered to 61. You can see that on the back. Once again, it's just another tough one to come by. Okay, moving on, number 6. Number 6, we have a Jalen Rose. This is a 1998-99 Skybox EX Century Essential Credentials. This is the future version. This is the future version, numbered to 47. Now, as a lot of you guys already know, credentials had mirrored numbering, so the players had different, the cards were numbered to different amounts. In this case, the Jalen Rose future was numbered to 47. The nows were numbered to 44 because the parallels that year in 1998 added up to 91. Now, one other note, there's no Michael Jordan cards in this credential set, and there wouldn't be until 2001. So we had a little gap there without Michael Jordan credentials. This is not always a popular set, but some people don't like the color scheme as well. The futures here had this gold look to them. The now had more of a silver look, but for Pacers, this works great. The gold looks great, so I don't have any major complaints. Speaking of that Jordan guy, that moves us on to number 5. Yes, this is a Pacers list that has a Michael Jordan card. Doesn't seem quite right. But anyway, this is 1998-1999 Upper Deck Encore, and this is the parallel numbered to 125. So I'll show you that on the back here. This card's numbered to 125. I actually got this in a lot. Now, why is this in my list? Well, first, some logistics about the card. In this set, cards number 91 through 113 were all Michael Jordan. So you got a lot of chances for a Jordan in terms of, compared to other sets. A lot of Michael Jordans in this set, as Upper Deck did towards the end of his run. So the Jordan cards themselves, not the numbered versions, but the Jordan base themselves were 1 in 4 packs. And then, of course, the numbered versions were out of 125. So I picked this one. because I was able to locate this shot. This is from Game 7 of the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals. If you saw the Last Dance documentary, then you've seen, you've seen parts of this. You've seen the Pacers, how they gave them a good run. Well, this is from Game 7, and I was actually able to track that down. So there you have it. I actually put a Michael Jordan card in here. Okay. All right. Number 4. Number 4 is a 1998-1999 Fleer Brilliance 24 karat gold Mark Jackson, numbered to 24. Okay, so this is a really rare card. There are actually some of these that are slabbed on eBay right now that were cut from a sheet that are not serial numbered. The serial number versions are very hard to track down. In fact, if I take this one out, you might be able to see there are some major scratches on the front of this. And when I made a deal for this card, the seller, he said, well, there are some big scratches on it, right? I said, yeah, no problem, because these are so incredibly hard to find that if they're scratched up and it's your player, you take it anyway. So you can always, you can't always upgrade later, but you can always try. So, if you find one of these, take a copy in any form that you can get. Really nice looking gold card. I actually put it in a binder with my gold refractors. All right, number 3, the GOAT is making his return. Here we have Jeff Foster. Not one, but 2 cards. These are 1999-2000 Skybox Premium Star Rubies. We've got the A and the B variation, which that was something that was different for that year. The regular Star Rubies for 1999, regardless if it was veteran or rookie, those were out of 45. And Jake actually pulled one on his channel of Baron Davis, which was a pretty incredible pull, especially for him because he PC's Baron Davis. That was awesome. So you can see that this is the regular version because it's numbered out of 45. Well, for that year, and don't ask me why, I don't know why they did it, but I'm glad they did. They also made a photo variation for the rookies. So you can see that the regular version, Ruby, has red foil. The photo variation has blue. And I'll flip these over here. So you can see that the same picture on the back, but the photo variation is numbered out of 25. And it's tricky because even the cards have the same number, and it doesn't say A and B, even though that's what they are. All right, moving on. Here's one of the big ones that you guys were probably waiting to see in some capacity, and I'll get better video of this in a little bit, but you can already see it even in the wrapper. This is 1997-98 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Red, Dale Davis. So these are, well, the serial number is going to tell you that they're out of 100. So this one's 35 out of 100. But as many of you know, the first 10 were actually the green parallel. So there are only 90 red parallels. These are faked. Some people, as with any other popular set, these are faked. But this is the real deal right here. Be careful if you're out there, if you're chasing these. I've seen people buy retail boxes to try and pull a PMG. These were hobby only, so just keep that in mind. Also, they're very condition sensitive. I'll try and get a close-up later on, but you can see down here at the bottom that there is some wear. But once again, and this one's actually pretty good, but once again, this is one of those cards that you take, however you can find it. All right, so what is better to me than a PMG? And remember, this is all completely subjective here, but what is better than a PMG? Well, I elected to go with something I just got in recently, a printing plate. Okay, not everyone would go along with that. Some people hate printing plates. I really like, especially these older printing plates. This is a 1999-2000 Topps Stadium Club black printing plate of Rick Smith's. And this doesn't say 1 of 1 on the back, but these were 1 of 1. Even though there were 4 plates, there was 1 plate for each color. If you think about your printer cartridges, there's black, there's cyan, there's yellow, and there's magenta. Well, so there were plates that corresponded to the printing process. And these old plates, they aren't like the thick panini plates now. They were real thin. They're just kind of jagged, right? Some of them were, pretty rough coming out of packs, which is funny. I've seen people talk about the condition of printing plates. Well, of course there's going to be there's going to be ink stains on it. They're going to be beat up because they were literally used to help create the card. In 1999, these were still relatively new. I have a few here to show you. I think this is from 1998. So that's a cyan copy you see on here. They have a C. This is a Sam Mitchell magenta copy from that same year. And this is an Avery Johnson magenta from this year. So you can see how they differentiated these plates. But these were obviously very rare because they are 1-of-1s, and there's just 4 for each player. You could only get these in the jumbo boxes, which would be the HTA boxes. That stands for Home Team Advantage. That was a term that Topps used years ago, and pretty much related to a product being hobby only with the jumbo boxes. That's about all it refers to anymore. I know there's been some debate and some rumors about these boxes having more regional hits, but I've never seen any evidence of that. All right, guys, well, there you have it. That's my top 10. I hope you enjoyed that. Jake, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Kyle. That was incredible. Some of those cards are just beauties, and I would love to have cards like some of those in my collection. And that's what we can see, a collector like Kyle, who has been doing this for decades, and being able to amass some of those pieces in his collection. Very impressive, but that's some stuff that we can all strive for over the years. And question of the day for you, you saw that his number 1 card was actually a printing plate, and like he discussed, some people are not big fans of printing plates, some people love them. Really kind of a unique thing there with the thinner printing plate from Topps in the 90s. So the question of the day for you is, what are your thoughts on printing plates? Are you a fan? Do you really like seeing those, or are you kind of, you can, if you get one out of a pack, maybe you'll pass it on to a collector who appreciates it a little bit more, let's say. So drop that down in the comments. I think that's really an interesting little twist on his top 10 to see a printing plate in there. Not necessarily what I was expecting when I was first looking at this, but some really fun stuff there. I mean, the credentials and the PMGs are definitely fan favorites. So those are timeless pieces there. Great stuff, Kyle. Thank you very much again for helping me out, and thank you for sharing your PC with us. Love to see more. I'd love to have you back and do some more stuff like this. So if you're watching this, let me know what you think about doing some guest spots with some other folks and sharing some of their collections that maybe we can see some more of. So this was a lot of fun for me. As always, thanks for stopping and enjoying this great content for our great hobby. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New videos will always drop on Wednesdays. Any bonus content will drop on Fridays. Thanks. Bye.